Is this Series X real? This Xbox update is perfect for stealth missions. Is it time for an Elite Series 3? Fans are upset. How will Microsoft respond? Here's how to actually get a Series X. And don't miss out on these Xbox discounts. Let's discuss. Just a reminder, if you take a look down at the description below, I have links for all sorts of Xbox gear. If you want to get in on this new generation of Xbox cloud gaming, I also have some links for some Samsung TVs that support the Xbox Game Pass app that they're coming out with. What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Xbox Ready. I have gathered 5 stories that I think you should know about if you're an Xbox fan, starting with a potential new console. I'm referring to this white Series X that appeared in this Logitech commercial. I'll tell you why it's a big deal. Because the only version of the Series X that we've seen for sale, besides the standard black one, is the special edition Halo Infinite one that they put out. Sure, they've made a ton of other Xbox console special edition consoles, but none of them have been for sale. They put out that really sick Far Cry one. They'll have that really awesome looking Deathloop one that's up for grabs as part of a sweepstakes on Twitter. But like I said, none of those consoles have been for sale. So when people saw the Series X in this commercial, a white Series X, understandably there was some excitement. People were saying, oh, are we gonna get a white Series X this holiday season? That would be really awesome. Personally, it would have been hugely validating for me because around the time when this white Elite Series 2 core controller was floating around, I was looking at it and I was thinking, man, how cool would it be if they released this white Elite Series 2 controller and alongside it, we got a white Series X. But Microsoft, since this commercial has been floating around, has come out and said, sorry guys, we are not putting out a white Series X. What ended up happening was that they just took a regular old Series X and put a white skin on it to match the aesthetic of the commercial. A white Series X, I mean, I don't know how hard it is production-wise to put those out, but I feel like it could have been an easy slam dunk for Microsoft going into the holiday season. And of course, you look over on the PlayStation side, and they have the ability to change their fins, their plates to different colors, to customize their PS5. Of course, you can buy a white skin and slap it on your Xbox yourself. And honestly, that would probably look pretty clean from all angles except the top angle. There's not really a sticker that you could put on the top grate, the ventilation that they have going on the top of the Series X. I personally just think it would have been really, really cool for Microsoft to put out a white Series X and a black Series S. I feel like that would have gotten a lot of people excited. Next up, we have yet another Xbox update to talk about. One of the good things about Xbox is that instead of doing their updates in one big batch and then taking a break for a couple of months, we kind of have like a rolling update system. We get them pretty frequently. Obviously, not too long ago, Discord voice chat came to Xbox consoles. I talked about in a previous video the ability to change your guide button on your Elite Series 2 controller. The highlight of this Xbox update that's being tested in select alpha insider builds is the ability to mute your startup sounds. Literally the sound that happens when you turn on your Xbox. I feel like this would have been perfect for when I was a kid. Fooling your parents into thinking that you're asleep, but then really you wake up and turn on your Xbox and play a bunch of video games. Or maybe you just had a kid, and I'm considerate of that as well, and you want to turn on your Xbox, play some games after you finally put your baby to sleep. There are some other features being tested out in this new update. According to the Xbox Wire, a random subset of users will see a search bar and a link to your settings directly on your dashboard. Now, this is obviously part of an ongoing effort that Xbox is in the middle of, where they're revamping the dashboard, they're trying to come up with something new. Now, I would be cool with this if you got rid of all the other different ways to access your settings. Because for me personally, I just access my settings from the guide. But yet, whenever I do that, it pops up as a shortcut in my guide, it pops up on my dashboard in my most recent apps. I don't need all that. Now, as part of this most recent September update that's available for all Xbox users, we got a little revamp in the My Games and Apps section. Specifically, when you click all games and apps, you have these little sections now at the top saying, these are the games you have available as part of Xbox Game Pass. These are the games you have available that you actually own. These are the games that are available to you via EA Play. Well, apparently, according to the Xbox Wire, for this new build that they're testing out, we have enabled a filter menu with a new look, which gives you more control over how you view your games games and apps. You can now simultaneously apply multiple filters per category and clear all your filters with a single button press. Now, what these filters are, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not an alpha skip ahead insider or alpha level. I'm just a regular, I feel like I'm delta, honestly I haven't even checked. So I would be curious as to see what further filters they're going to put on in order for you to navigate the My Games and Apps section. They're also testing out a new VRR variable refresh rate setting. According to the Xbox Wire, they say with today's update, you can now specify when variable refresh rate is enabled by choosing between always on, gaming only, or off. I feel like that's pretty useful if you do not have a VRR supported monitor or TV. This is obviously something that you could just turn off, you don't have to worry about it. And obviously smooth frame rates, they look really awesome in games, but that doesn't transfer to other forms of media that you might be watching on your Xbox console. So yeah, I can see how it could be totally useful to turn it on for gaming, and then when you're watching Netflix, you're watching movies or whatever, to turn it off. Again, these features that I've just been talking about are only available to select Xbox insiders. They're testing them right now before Xbox rolls them out to the general public. If you want to be an insider yourself, all you have to do on your Xbox is download the Xbox Insider Hub app, and then basically you just sign up. It's very straightforward after that point. Just be aware when you are an insider, you're testing these things. Sure, you're the first ones to test them, but there are some issues that go along with it. So if you're not down for that, do not become an insider. But if you want to play a small part in improving the Xbox experience, go ahead and sign up. Now, one of the big questions floating around in the modern gaming industry is, when is this console shortage going to end? 2 years after these consoles have launched, some people are still having a hard time picking them up, whether it's the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. With the Xbox Series X, there seems to be some differing opinions on how readily available these consoles are. So of course, I was interested in this article from Press Start saying the Xbox Series X is readily available right now. They say in this article, the Series X stock situation seems to be leveling out as of late, and we've seen a pretty consistent flow of stock coming through. Right now, for example, you can pick one up at more than one local retailer without so much as a crowd to push through, or a scalper to hand over double the asking price. Now, from my understanding, this is an Australian-based article, but I was like, okay, that sounds dope. And then I actually took a gander at the links they provided, and lo and behold, every link that they included in this article, when I went to go check it out, they did not have any stock available for any console linked in this article. And I was like, dang, isn't that just the most fitting thing? Right now on the Microsoft Store website, it seems like you can buy an Xbox Series X through them. Of course, you have the All Access program, and that seems like a pretty easy way to pick up an Xbox console until, I used to be really excited about the All Access program. I was like, that's pretty cool, pay for it over time. And it comes with Xbox Ultimate over a 2-year span. But then people were reaching out to me and being like, yo, Ray, you have to have like a pretty dang good credit score in order to even qualify for the All Access program. So yeah, I guess if you can swing it, All Access is a pretty good option if you're really desperate for an Xbox Series X. So I went on over to the Microsoft Store website and I checked out their console section. They have the option to buy a refurbished Series X. That comes in at around $469.99, but it seems to be stocked and pretty legit. They do have brand new Series X consoles for sale in stock on the Microsoft website. I'm looking at them right now, but there's a little bit of a catch. They make you buy a second controller to go along with that. They're literally just calling it the Xbox Series X certified bundle. So you have to choose, yes, I want the Series X, and then you choose one of the controllers. The options are the Elite Series Core, the white one that I showed off on the channel the other day, the regular Elite Series, and then of course just a standard Xbox Series controller. They have the camo one, the black one, the white one. If none of that sounds appealing to you, right now I'm about to tell you exactly what I did in order to get my next-gen consoles. It's not pretty, it takes a little bit of work, but if you really get at it, I promise you will get a Series X if you're one of those that has been looking for them, has had no success. First off, you're gonna need a Twitter. I'm sorry. Next up, you're gonna have to follow a bunch of these guys on Twitter that literally all they do is just track stocking updates, restocking updates for tech and consoles. One of them is Wario64. There are a bunch of others called PS5, Xbox Restock. Follow a bunch of those accounts. Now, why would you do that? Because these guys literally exist. They exist to post updates about PS5 restocks, Xbox restocks, limited edition merch, and collector's bundles. So whenever they restock an Xbox console at Walmart, Target, Amazon, these guys tweet about it and they provide the links. Just like you can on YouTube, when you really like a creator, you subscribe to them, and you hit the little notification bell to get alerted whenever they post, you can do that to these accounts on Twitter. So once you set the alerts, it'll literally pop up on your phone. But here's the catch. You have to do it really quickly, because these things, there's obviously a bunch of people out there with a bunch of bots that buy them and then they go and resell them. I recommend having your payment information readily available so you're just ready to go. You can autofill whatever, check out as quickly as you can in order to get you that Xbox console, in order to make that sweet upgrade. Next up, we have got to talk about the Elite Series 2 Core controller. Now, perhaps you remember when I unboxed this controller on the channel, I think it was a week ago. Time flies. But I'm talking about this guy right here. It is just the standard Elite Series 2 controller, but it has a white core. There really isn't too much of a difference between this and the old Elite Series 2 controller, the black one, besides the fact that you can buy this by itself without any of the paddles and the other accessories that come with the Elite Series 2. Xbox came out and said, this is a controller that is meant to last. We heard your complaints about our last iteration of this controller, how there was a bunch of quality control issues, and honestly, I was really excited about it. I know people, they kind of are a little distrustful of the Elite Series 2 right now, but me personally, I've had no issues with this controller. I haven't been playing anything really too intense. I've been playing Cyberpunk after watching the Edge Runner show on Netflix, but it seems to be holding up and performing very well. And like I said, I appreciate that I can change the color of my guide button. That's pretty cool. But not everyone feels the same way, and this is what I was afraid of. CBR put out this article, and the title says it all. Why Xbox fans are disappointed in the Elite Core controller. And there was one user on Reddit that said these rubberized grips literally just peeled off for them, like they weren't even glued on or anything. People are already complaining about stick drift. People have been complaining about the A and B buttons being kind of sticky. And like I said, not everyone has these issues. Me personally, haven't had any problems as of yet. But when it comes to the Elite Series controller, even a couple of negative reviews, a couple of people who have problems, that's way too much. The problem is that this controller is not cheap. The white and the black one, if you want the whole kit and caboodle, all the paddles and the accessories and stuff, it's almost $200. Chances are, if you spend $200 on the controller, you're expecting it to last pretty much the whole generation. You have people out there who have gone through 2, 3, sometimes even 6 controllers because something has been wrong with the bumpers, something's been wrong with the drift, the grips are peeling off, something weird. And I know what they were kind of trying to do with this guy. They were saying, hey, if you had problems with your black Elite Series 2, buy one of these. This is built better. You don't have to buy the accessories with it. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. So it's been kind of disappointing to hear that fans are having these issues. Is it time to move on to the Elite Series 3? Would they be able to leave those concerns behind? Would that be enough to restore trust in the product? If you're one of those that's hesitant to pick up an Elite Series 2 controller, there is a really decent sale going on regular Xbox controllers. It's on Amazon, it's on the Microsoft Store. Some of these are discounted up to 26%. The white Elite controller is going right now for $45. And obviously that's a pretty sweet discount considering they're usually sold at $60. And it's not just the basic controllers either. You have these other colors that Xbox has come out with. Shock Blue is on sale for $47 right now on Amazon. I've also seen these discounts on the Microsoft Store. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you want, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at StayXboxReady. Add me on Xbox, I'm Lord Janitor. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of Xbox Ready. I have a very special guest joining me, and no, it's not Jimmy Champagne. Let's just say it's one of Night City's most notorious netrunners.